Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Hello everyone, yes, it's Ask Rob and Rob, just us two, back to normal on the Ask Rob and Robs. All different topics, not just tax now. Of course, by all means, keep sending your tax questions in. But we're going to dig into some other subjects today. So whatever your topic, as long as it's semi-property related, you probably need to know how to get that in. So Rob, how can they get their question to us?
Yeah, well, if you've not got it on speed dial already, this is the number you need. It's 013 808 00035. That's 013 808 00035. You can leave us a voicemail there, or you can go over to thepropertyhub.net/ask and leave us a message that way instead. So our first question this week comes in from Jack. Let's have a listen to what Jack has to ask.
Hi guys, it's Jack from North London here. I'm hoping you could help me with a question that's been on my mind for the past few weeks. So I graduated from uni a couple of years ago, and I'm quite enjoying my current job in the car industry. However, I can't help but feel that the only way that I'll be truly passionate about what I do would be if I worked in property. And this would, of course, also help me build a really strong network and develop the knowledge before going it alone, hopefully not too far from now. But to be honest, I don't truly know what's out there. I know there's a huge amount of variety, from being a sourcer, mortgage broker, estate agent, etc. But I'm sure there's also stuff that I've never even heard of. So I guess what I'm after is a bit of insight into different career paths that might be worth looking into. So very briefly about me, so I'm a bit of a geek with numbers, I love a spreadsheet, and I also love dealing with people though. So hopefully that's quite broad, and I reckon there'll be something out there for me, but I'm just not sure what. So I'd really appreciate any advice. Thanks very much for all the quality content you guys have put out over the last few years. It's been really valuable and much appreciated. Cheers.
Well, Jack, we always have soft spots for geeks because we are ourselves, so we'd love to help. Your timing is impeccable, I must have to say, because this Thursday we have a podcast dedicated to this very subject. So make sure you check that out. And if you want to find out about exciting roles that are within our own companies, then you can go to thepropertyhub.net/jobs. But Rob, is there anything we can give before Thursday's episode that you think will be of extra help to Jack?
Well, it sounds like Jack is in a really good position because he mentioned loving numbers and spreadsheets, and he mentioned that he loved dealing with people as well. So having a mix of those two skills is really important. That'll be suitable for loads of roles. Jack's absolutely right. There are so many roles within the property industry, as with any industry, that you just don't know exist from the outside. Your ideal job might be something you haven't even heard of right now. So I would say that the best thing you can do is just to get started in the industry. The first job that you get in the industry probably isn't going to be the one that you stick with for life. But once you're in, you're going to come into contact with so many different people in different roles. There's something might catch your attention and you dig into it further and decide that that's what you want to be doing. So you can start with an internship, and we talk about how to land one of those in this Thursday's podcast. Or you can start as an estate agent, which obviously is brilliant because you get to interact with investors firsthand and see what the market's doing. Mortgages might be of interest to you if you're a bit of a numbers geek. But whatever you do, I think concentrate on getting that first role, making that career switch, which can be tricky to do, and then being open-minded, learning everything you can. And over the first year or so, you'll become aware of so many opportunities and you can plan your next move from there.
Yeah, that's great advice, Rob. Don't get too fixated on that first role. Just get in. And if you can get into a company where there's multiple roles, for example, if you go to work as a mortgage advisor, but there's only a few people in the office and all they do is mortgages, then you're not going to see so much of the other stuff. But if you work in a larger company where lots of things are happening, maybe lettings, maybe investments, maybe they're building stuff, or maybe they even have a property podcast. No, there's other companies as well, not just ours. But having a company that has a wide range of things going on, again, is only going to help you with that experience. So whatever you do, good luck, and make sure you listen to this Thursday's podcast. So let's get our next question in, and this one is from Barney.
Hi Rob. My name's Barney. I love the show. I just had a question about where you get all your facts and figures from, because one of the things about getting involved with property I found is answering the questions of naysayers, and also needing to be able to convince yourself you're going down the right path. So when you say things like the Northwest is increasing and London's flatlining, I just wondered where you recommend getting your facts and figures from so I can back up my own research with such confidence. All right, keep up with the work. Thanks very much.
Really good question, Barney, because you do see all these facts and figures bandied around all over the place, and you're never quite sure where they come from. There are loads of different sources that you can look at, and it takes a bit of time to get a feel for where to look for what type of information, but there's a couple of sources that we use all the time. So when we're talking about cities and how they're performing relative to each other, most of the time that'll come from HomeTrack. So HomeTrack have an index where they pit the performance of, I think, about 20 different cities against each other, and that's always really interesting when they come out with one of their reports. Another really great source is Nationwide. So Nationwide put out a report monthly talking about the most recent set of figures that they've got, and there's normally lots of insights in the report itself, but they also release all the raw data. So if you are a bit of a geek with a spreadsheet, you can go in there and do your own analysis and sort of spot your own trends and patterns and build up your own picture of what's going on. And that's what Rob did a while back for an episode that we did about the property cycle. Took the Nationwide data, did his own analysis of it, and found something that wasn't actually mentioned anywhere but was in the data, and we were able to tell everyone about that on the podcast.
Yeah, great resources. Nationwide, that data goes back to the 50s, so you can do some really interesting stuff if you're a bit geeky with that and spot those trends. So if you want to say, well, actually, this is what happened, because you do hear so much banded around in property, and a lot of it is just people repeating what they've already heard. But where did that come from? Is it true? Is it not? So the great thing about Nationwide is it goes back to the 50s, and you can find out for yourself and establish the facts. And HomeTrack, as Rob said, the city report is absolutely fantastic, but they do some other good stuff there as well, and there's lots of other reports they produce. So put those two at the top of your pile. But let's face it, if there's a certain data point you want to find, a little bit of Googling and effort, you'll find it. But hopefully that'll put you on the right track, Barney. So we'll be back this Thursday with the Property Podcast, which we've already given you an insight of what it's about. It's about landing that dream role that you've always wanted. So make sure you join us for that. And we'll be back just us two again for Ask Rob and Rob next week. So until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.